Hello and good afternoon to all of you. I hope all of you are doing well and all of you are in good health. In today's class, continuing from the previous class, we will focus on another type of overloading that is called as operator overloading. Now, operator overloading allows you to associate multiple operations with the same operator. Now, C++ also provides an option to overload operators. So what you can do is you can redefine or overload most of the built-in operators that are available in C++. For an example, we can make use of the operator plus in order to concatenate two strings when it's placed between two strings. Whereas plus can also be used in order to determine sum of the two operands. So a single operator plus when placed between integer operands will determine the sum of the two integer operands, whereas whenever it's placed between two strings, it will concatenate the two strings. Now, there are a set of operators that can be overloaded and there are a set of operators that cannot be overloaded. So here are some of the operators that can be overloaded in C++. So you have this set of operators that can be overloaded in C++, and you have a set of operators that cannot be overloaded in C++. You have scope resolution operator, you have member access operator, you have dot operator, and you have conditional operator. Now let us try to understand operator overloading with the help of a very simple example. So here what we have done is we have declared a class cuboid where we have the data members that are length, breadth, and height. And we have member functions like get volume, so it's capable of determining the volume of the cuboid. So it is capable of determining the product of length, breadth, and height. Then we have set length that is capable of initializing the length of the cuboid. Set breadth that is capable of initializing the breadth of the cuboid, and you have set height that is capable of initializing the height of the cuboid. Then what we have is we have operator plus that is being overloaded in order to add two cuboid objects. So here what we'll take in is we'll take in two cuboid objects, add the values associated with the two cuboids to the third cuboid, right, to form the third cuboid. So here what I have done is I have defined a function where I have overloaded the plus operator to add two cuboid objects, which takes in a reference, right, and returns a cuboid object of type cuboid, right? Okay, so cuboid dot length will be the sum of the two lengths, breadth will be the sum of two breadths, and height will be the sum of two heights, right? And eventually what I'm doing is I'm returning the cuboid object, right? So now here what I have is I have my main function. So now cuboid 1, cuboid 2, cuboid 3 are three objects of type cuboid, and I have taken up a parameter of type double, right, that is named as volume. So now first what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set the length, breadth, and height of the first cuboid. So cuboid dot set length, cuboid 1 dot set length, that is 6. So 6 will be passed to the length of the first cuboid, 7 will be passed to the breadth of the second cuboid, and 5 will be passed to the height of the first cuboid. Now likewise I'm initializing the second cuboid, so I'm passing 12 to the length of the second cuboid, breadth 13 to the breadth of the second cuboid, and 10 to the height of the second cuboid. So now what I have done is I have initialized the length, breadth, and height of cuboid 1 and cuboid 2. So then after that what I have done is I have determined the volume of cuboid 1 and cuboid 2. So here I'm using the get volume function, right? Get volume will determine the product of length, breadth, and height for volume for cuboid number 1, and eventually it will determine the volume of cuboid number 2. So these two invocations will determine volume of cuboid 1 and cuboid 2. So then subsequently I printed the volume of cuboid 1 and cuboid 2 as well. Then we are adding the two objects of type cuboid using the plus operator that we have overloaded. So cuboid 3 is equals to cuboid 1 plus cuboid 2. So what it will do, it will take in the lengths of the cuboid 1 and cuboid 2 added up together. It will take the breadth of cuboid 1 and cuboid 2 added up together. It will take the height of cuboid 1 and cuboid 2 added up together and initialize it to the length, breadth, and height of cuboid 3. So this is the way how this particular operator will work. So it will add up lengths of cuboid 1 and cuboid 2 and place it in length of cuboid 3. It will add up the breadth of cuboid 1 and cuboid 2 and place it in breadth of cuboid 3. And then it will add up the height of cuboid 1 and cuboid 2 and place it in the height of cuboid 3. Then eventually what I'm invoking get volume using cuboid 3, which will determine the volume of the third cuboid, which is formed after the sum of the length, breadth, and height of cuboid 1 and cuboid 2. Excuse me. So this is the way how operator overloading can be implemented. So again, I'll repeat it. So here what we have done is we have taken up a class cuboid where we have three members. We have length, breadth, and height, and we have member functions that are capable of initializing length, breadth, and height and determining volume of the cuboid. So then what we have done is we have overloaded function plus in order to add two cuboid objects, right, and return a cuboid object. Then we have initialized the first cuboid with the set of values. We have initialized the second cuboid with the set of values. Then we have determined the volume for cuboid 1, and subsequently we have determined volume for cuboid 2. And then we have called the overloaded operator in order to add two cuboid objects, and eventually we have determined the volume of the third cuboid. So this is the way how we can implement operator overloading. So in today's class, what we have learned about is we have learned about what is operator overloading, right? We have learned about what can be overloaded, and we have learned about what cannot be overloaded, and we have learned operator overloading with the help of a very simple example that tries to determine volume of different cuboids. So thank you very much. Have a very nice day.